What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another episode of the Premier League SPUR-SPECTIVE, which is a follow-on from Predict the Prem, where me and Simeon pick our predictions for the Premier League, and we've got our scores as well, which is 334 at the moment to Simeon, 323 to myself. And the way the scoring works, it's 5 points for a correct result, 3 points for a correct, 5 points for correct scoreline, 3 points for a correct result and both teams to score, 1 point for a correct result, and there's a star man as well, which is 2 points for goal, 1 point for an assist. Not many games to get through this week, seeing as it was FA Cup weekend, but let's get through them. And starting off on Thursday night football, which was Everton against Newcastle, which finished at 1-0 to Everton on the day. I went 2-0 to Newcastle. You went 2-2. So you were a bit closer than me, but still no one getting any points on that one. And credit to Everton, 10 men plugged through and got the goal in the end with Iwobi.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that was a massive goal for them in terms of the relegation battle. They've been faltering really badly, and they needed some sort of inspiration. That was a bit of fight they needed. Although, you know, on the weekend in the FA Cup they lost 4-0 to Palace, and they didn't really follow up with any show of fight. But maybe that could help them in their run for the relegation, because they probably need to focus on it. But this game was the start of this epidemic of fans tying themselves to goalposts, or at least attempting to.
Well, it actually wasn't, because the night before Arsenal against Liverpool, someone tried to do it and they failed, like they did at Spurs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so it wasn't quite the start. But that was the only fan who successfully done it. Yeah. And he was there for about
8 minutes.
8 minutes or so. And it did lead to some great images of that guy trying to do the bolt cutters, and that fan just having tied himself. What was it for? They said stop oil. It is, isn't it?
It's like ridiculous. I don't understand. Why did it take so long to
what
get
are these ties made out of? Like
blunt
metal?
bolt cutters. That's what they got in
the biggest bolt cutters you've ever seen, and they couldn't cut it. It took like 8 minutes to cut these small ties. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But in terms of the football, great result for Everton. Newcastle 2 defeats on the bounce now after a great run of form, and got us next.
Exactly, coming into form right at the right time for Newcastle. Exactly. But no, credit to Everton for getting that result, because it was a massive result for them. But it was kind of made a bit null and void with the next result we're going to talk about, which is Wolves against Leeds, which finished 3-2 to Leeds at Molineux. You went 2-1 to Wolves. I went 1-0 to Wolves. So again, we're getting no points here, but Wolves were 2-0 up, I think, at half-time, it was. Ended up being 3-2 to Leeds, so a massive, massive result and a massive performance for Leeds. And now Jesse March, I think that's back-to-back wins for him. And Leeds are looking a lot better than they were a couple of weeks ago now in terms of the league table.
They were massively helped with the red card for Jimenez, which was very harsh.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a red.
I thought it was very harsh. And obviously they were 2-0 up at that point. So Wolves will point to the red card, but to be fair, Wolves are not an easy team, to play against, even if it would. They're with 10 men. They're very defensively solid, and at 2-0 up, I think Wolves would still probably have been confident of going on and getting the win, even though they're down to 10 men for the remainder of the game. I think how long they played? They played 40. I think it was in the second half he got sent off.
I thought he got sent off just after half time, or just before half time.
I think exactly. So they played 45 minutes with 10 men, but with 2-0 advantage. They would assume we should be able to just batten down the hatches and solid. So fair play to Leeds for actually getting back in the game. And there was I'm not sure which goal it was. I think it was the second goal, very bizarre goal. Like, it was a complete miss kick, hit the post. Yeah. And then I think it fell to Harrison. He puts it in the back of the net. Yeah. No, Rodrigo, sorry.
Yeah, the first shot was from Luke Ayling, and then it ended up with Harrison.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously they got the goals there, and then Luke Ayling right in the last minute made it 3-2, and there was great scenes again. And look, 2 last-minute winners now for Jesse March against Norwich and Wolves. This was a very important win. They needed this because at the moment, Norwich and Watford don't look like getting the results, but you never know with Burnley. Although Burnley on bad form, you need to make sure you've got as big as buffer as possible going into the last bit of the season. So massive result for Leeds.
Well, are we even assuming Watford are down? I mean, Watford are even performing a bit of late.
Yeah, they played fairly well, but they need to go on a run. Who they got? I don't know who they have next, but they got Liverpool next. I can't even get anything out of that game. And then it's 8 games to go.
Who's your tips to go?
Well,
down?
then again, Watford are above Burnley at the moment.
That's what I'm saying. Who you got to go down this season?
You know what? I think the current bottom three it's difficult to look past them at the moment.
I mean,
and I think Burnley might be running out of steam the way things are going. I think they had a great run, and they've now lost what? They've now lost 3 on the trot.
Since
no win in 4.
Since beating us, I don't think they've won a game.
Yeah, they've drawn 1. Yeah. They've drawn 1, lost 3 since beating us.
I mean, I can't really look past Everton to go down. Have you seen their fixtures that they've got?
Yeah, but they have more quality than Burnley.
They do have more quality, but they've got much harder fixtures.
They're currently 4 points ahead with same games played. It's still going to be
Everton's
difficult.
fixtures. They go West Ham away next. Then they got a massive game against Burnley, which actually could tell a lot in that game. Then we've got Man United, Leicester, Liverpool, Chelsea, Leicester again, and then last 2 games against Brentford and Arsenal.
Very tough. Well,
Extremely
Brentford's
tough.
fixtures.
Brentford?
Sorry, Burnley's. I don't know.
Burnley's fixtures are... They got Man City next, then Everton, then Norwich, then West Ham, then Southampton, then Wolves, Watford, Villa, Tottenham and Newcastle.
Yeah,
it's also
easier.
tough, but nowhere near as tough.
Yeah, nowhere near as tough. I don't know. I feel like the current bottom 3 are going to go down. I think they're probably the 3 worst squads. Probably.
A lot is going to be said in that Burnley Watford game and Burnley Everton game.
Yeah, and we're all going to come against games around them, but I think Burnley had a great run. Weghorst was looking like he was going to provide something, but now 3 losses on the trot. It's difficult to see. And they've lost 2-0 to Brentford, 2-0 at home to Leicester. It's different. It's like
that all changes if Burnley get a result against Everton.
Yeah,
if Burnley suddenly beat Everton,
which I wouldn't be surprised.
Exactly. If Burnley beat Everton in a couple of weeks' time, then I think you're
where's that? Burnley, Everton.
It's at Burnley.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
So I think still a lot of twists and turns left to go in this relegation battle. But I actually think Everton are going to go down, and my 3 tips are going to be Everton, Watford, and Norwich.
I'm going to go with the current bottom 3 at the moment.
You're going for Watford, Burnley and Norwich. That won't make the Watford fan in the back end very happy, but what can you do? Let's move on. The scores are still 3-3-4 to 3-2-3. Next game we're going to talk about is Aston Villa against Arsenal, which finished 1-0 to Arsenal on the day. Sib went 2-2, I went 2-1, so I gain a point for this one, but unfortunately I gain a point because Arsenal I thought played really well. I thought Villa really didn't show up for this game in my opinion, and first half I think Arsenal should have got more than just the goal, but I think after the first half you just knew which way this game was going to go, didn't you?
Yeah, it was I think Arsenal were a much better team in the first half. Villa were a complete no-show. I think I got it completely wrong in terms of how they set up with Coutinho and Buendia supporting Watkins. They couldn't have any.
Wasn't he, Coutinho?
Both of them, him and Buendia, both did absolutely nothing in this game. Watkins was completely isolated. The only reason you play them through together is to get them close together to play good football. And to, get quick passes going. That's why you play those kind of 2 clever players together. But they absolutely did. Didn't get on the ball at all. You could argue it's because Arsenal stopped them, but I think those kind of players are known for getting on the ball and showing for the ball, and they just didn't do anything of the sort on Saturday. I think Gerrard got it completely wrong in terms of if he's going to play. I think fair enough. You go to the lineup he goes with, but I think in the second half he's got to put Watkins and Ings together. I don't know why he didn't. Ings was isolated all day long, and then he even being isolated, he still had a few moments where he got away from the Arsenal defenders and he hit the post in the second half, and he had a few opportunities. But if he had Ings next to him as opposed to just one of them, I reckon that would be in a much Arsenal would have maybe had different things to think about, and he didn't do that. And I think second half, to be fair to Villa, they got back in the game a bit and they had a few moments, but Arsenal were never really troubled. Leno only made 1 save. That was in the last minute against Coutinho, last kick of the game. He barely had anything to do. I think Villa did improve in the second half, but Arsenal were worthy winners due to their first half display. And it wasn't the best goal, but I think Martinez will be a bit disappointed about letting that one in.
Definitely.
But I think they
against Arsenal as well.
Yeah, and I think they deserved it. They're looking consistent. They're still playing good football. every game, and at the back they looking very solid.
They are. It's unfortunate.
But Villa
to
were
say.
much more toothless than I expected.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you can pretty much guarantee that when we go to Villa Park in a couple of weeks, they're going to be putting in their best performance of the season probably. But I think that I thought Arsenal really dominated in that first half, but I did feel kind of watching it that the later this game went on, the more chances Villa were going to get, and they did get one right at the end, but unfortunately they couldn't put it away. But yeah, as you say, Arsenal worthy winners in this one. Next game was Leicester against Brentford, which finished 2-1 to Leicester. You went 1-1 and I went 2-1, so that's 5 points coming my way and really closing up the gap here, which was once over 30 points and now it's down to 5 points. But I didn't see any of this game. Obviously, we were at Spurs at the time. But Leicester plugging away and getting the points, and Brentford without a Christian Eriksen failed to win again.
Yeah, if I knew they weren't having Eriksen, I probably wouldn't have predicted them to get a point. But I think it was a last-minute pull-out. So fair play to Leicester. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe he just got injured or I don't know. I don't know what happened, but he didn't play. I know I saw Maddison saw a really nice free kick, which obviously gave Leicester all the points.
They scored 2 screamers at Leicester.
Oh, yeah, and Castagna scored a screamer as well.
Castagna was actually a better goal than Maddison's. Brilliant goals.
They were both really good goals. And but Brentford, from what I saw, will be probably a bit disappointed they didn't get anything out of the game because they did have the chances, but probably didn't have the quality to finish them off. And Leicester with another solid win for them, but they're not really fighting for much, are they?
Yeah, do you think Brentford are safe now?
Do I think Brentford are safe? How many points they clear? They're 8 points clear of Watford, who have a game in hand. Burnley have 3 games in hand, but 9 points behind. I think they should pick up enough points from now to the end of the season clear. I don't know what their fixtures look like, but they should be all right.
I'll tell you their fixtures. They got Chelsea away next, West Ham at home after that, Watford away after that, which is be a massive game. Brentford, they play Tottenham, Man United, Southampton, Everton and Leeds.
Yeah, I think they'll get enough points in those games. They just probably need, I would say, looking at the teams below them, they probably need a couple of wins.
They've still got 4 of the top 6 left to play, and the rest of them are relegation dogfight games against Watford, Everton and Leeds.
I think they should have enough. They probably need a couple wins now, probably see them through.
All right. So that is 3-3-4 to 3-2-9. As we move over to Tottenham against West Ham, we finished 3-1 to Tottenham. Obviously, both of us going 2-0 to Tottenham, so a point each. I think we covered this game to death, so we know our thoughts on this one. But a great performance from Tottenham, which was obviously some great atmosphere at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well. Go check out the match day vlog; it was a big one. And we move over to the star man as well, which was Harry Kane for both of us. So 3 points each. And
3 assists,
three assists for Harry Kane. Brilliant stuff from Harry. He's actually performing at such a high level, isn't he? And I was having a conversation with someone yesterday about this, and they're not a Tottenham fan, but they said to me, Harry Kane's best levels of his career was under Jose Mourinho, and I actually argued back to him, and I said, I think he's actually performing at his best level right now. What would you say to
that? Yeah, I think he's playing better now. I think to be honest, I think at peak levels last season, he was right at the top and he was one of the best players in the league. So it's hard to say. Yeah,
but he is now as well.
Very similar. It's very similar. I think he's probably more involved now, Harry Kane, in terms of in general play. I think he's coming deeper a lot. I guess he was doing that last season. He's getting assists on a regular basis like it was last season. He's probably at a similar level. I don't know if he's any better now than he was last season. I think he's probably maybe he's a bit more energetic now. That's what I would say than he was last season.
He looks more fitter, faster.
Yeah, he looks a bit faster. But it's very similar. I don't think it's too much in it.
Fair enough. So this week is going to end on 3-3-8 to 3-3-3. So 5 points is the gap as we go into international break. And then when we come back, it's, 9 games left or 8 games left?
Well, Spurs have 9 games left. Yeah, Arsenal have 10. United have 9. So look, all to play for in that top 4 race. It's going to go right down to the wire.
All to play for all over the league, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
All to play for the champions, all to play for in the top 4. all to play for in the top 6, all to play for relegation as well. So when's the last time at this stage of the season you're like, you don't know where anyone is going to finish, literally?
Yeah, I would say the teams from like 9th down to like 14th, those teams probably don't have too much to play for. Then everyone else is pretty much like well in it.
Yeah, exactly. And luckily, we've got a lot of teams to play in that kind of bracket, don't we, from 9th to 14th?
Exactly. So let's hope we take full advantage of that.
Exactly. So that is the end of the Premier League Perspective this week. 5 points in it. Let me know what your thoughts are on this week's episode. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.